Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode with Empowerment Reckless Podcast. Tonight we are on episode 23. The episode title that we are bringing you tonight is, are you a player or does people genuinely attract to you? And this is for man or woman. And the reason why we decided to come up with this episode is because Diamond had watched a show, and I'll let her kind of elucidate on that show, but it was a really good show, and the guy said something specific pertaining to what we're discussing tonight. So we want to just kind of to chime in on that. So Diamond, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Uncle Tommy or just Tommy.
Nephew Tommy is his name.
Nephew Tommy, yeah. He's actually from the Steve Harvey radio show. He does stand-up comedy and so forth. So it was earlier this week, I believe. I can't remember exactly what day, if it was Sunday or not. I was watching a television show, and it was called Ready to Love. And so it was very interesting. And I called Ashley and I was like, hey, check out this show or whatever. So we was on the phone and, we were communicating, and it was one thing that stuck out to Ashley that the young lady said. So before we get to that, I'm going to just reiterate. So one of the young ladies had just started on the show, and the guy that she made the comment to, he had already been on the show, and he had already built some connections with some of the young ladies that was there. So she felt some type of way because she was interested in the gentleman, and she didn't know how to approach the situation because she automatically felt that he was a player just by what was transpiring as she came in.
So what did most people do? What did she do as a woman?
She assumed and brought up some insecurities. So they had went on a date, and I'll let Ashley tell you what exactly the young lady said and what he said.
Yeah, I'm not going to quote them directly by, every piece by piece, but what she stated was that she felt like he was a player because he was talking to other woman, and then it was one person ear that he had nibble on, and it was just things that he was doing that she felt like he was a player type. So in theory, it's like, one, how can you consider that like a player when you're on a love show? So he's entitled to engage with whoever he has a connection with, or however the case may be. Two, you can't automatically assume that just because a person has all these people that they're communicating with, that makes them a philanderist, a player, or however the case may be. Three, you just can't assume. Like, that's the issue, because ultimately, like I tell people all the time, you're entitled to have options. Options is totally fine until you decide that either you're going to get married or commit to that one person. Then guess what? Then the dynamics would change. But for now, like, if you're not in a committed relationship, then none of that matters. That's the problem with a lot of relationships. Everybody wants to worry about what another woman is doing, what another man is doing. Why are you worried about that other person? Because if you are playing and aiming for your position, and that's who you want, then guess what? Worry about you and focus on getting what you want. If you want that man or you want that woman, focus on that. Other men are not going to matter, especially when you focus in on that. And when I say that is the most confident that you can ever have with anybody that you're trying to get in a relationship with, that's it. I mean, it even comes to like business relationships. That's like we always say, like, you got several McDonald's, several Chick-fil-A's, several Burger Kings. Heck, you got Burger King that's across the street from Wendy's. Guess what? Focus on what you're trying to do. Focus on what your goal is. You all are fast food. You're trying to bring in money, produce jobs for people. So that's your whole goal, to make sure that's what you do. So if that's what you do, focus on that. Why is Wendy's worried about what Burger King is doing? Honestly, they don't worry about it. So, they may mimic each other and have the same things, but it's all in a person's preference of what they want to do. So it's the same thing with relationships. It's all in the preference. I don't feel like, you know, that guy is a player because he's on a dating show and he's talking to all these people. I don't agree. And I also don't feel like her as the young lady should have assumed just because, she's coming in. That's why you have to really fill out a situation and don't judge it before you even know the situation. I mean, we all know that that's the reality that we live in. Before someone even get to know you, someone done told you something about that person that ain't even true, but you don't already judge that person based on what somebody told you. Get to know the whole story before you get to judging.
Right. And so, part of that was because, the young lady did state that she did have some trust issues. So, that was one of the issues as well. And then, coming into a situation with different women, different men, there's a lot of different personalities and things like that. So everybody's not going to connect the same way. I mean, you may connect with a person on a different level that you may not connect with a different person. So even if they may be way advanced than where you guys are at, and you may want to take it slow. Some people just jump ahead like that, and some people are just comfortable with that. So like you said, you just can't assume that somebody is a player, because if that's just how that person connects, then that's just how it is. So I just felt like, she was very aggressive, and which was really like a turn off for me, because it just like you just went and chopped his head out without fully, like you said, go into being and go into something with understanding, communication, not assuming, and going through the whole entire process. Because like the guy said, what's meant for me is gonna be for me. So
exactly. And like I said, that term is used so loosely, like, oh, you're a player, but really the real definition of a player is someone that pretends to care about you, play with your emotions, and typically just wants to get in bed with you. And this show, that wasn't even the case. She just came out full force, like saying like, oh my gosh, like I felt like that. Like, I mean, you cannot project your insecurities on anybody. That's the rule across the board. You shouldn't. I get it. People do have insecurities. They go through things in life. So there are things that you're going to be insecure about. However, I mean, I always say this before you even date or trying to get in a relationship, those insecurities, things that has happened to you, it may be in the past or current, you need to work through those things so you won't project that type of energy on, if it's a man or a woman, you definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah, and just like with the other, just like the other guy, this was the first time that I actually ever seen a guy that was really like very vulnerable and in his feelings. Like I've never really seen a guy like that before, the way that I saw on the show. So this is vice versa. So a young lady was actually interested in another guy, and she kissed him, I believe. And the guy that was really interested in her felt some type of way, because he thought that she was going to approach him. However, she ended up approaching somebody else. So he felt some type of way. So when they end up going on a date, he told her basically that, that he wanted her to choose, because it's either you're going to rock with me or you're not going to rock with me at all. But like she said, we're on a dating show, and I believe that this is a process, and I like the both of you guys, and I want to see where it both goes, because I do have options. And it's like, I don't want you to make me feel like I have to choose between the both of you, because at the end of the day, you're talking to other people as well, but you don't see me nagging at your ear saying, oh, well, you need to leave them alone or whatever, because who's to say y'all may be on good terms today, but you may meet somebody else tomorrow and you may have a better connection with the person you've been talking to. So who knows? I felt like that was really selfish of him to say that. But it was just really mind-blowing that he really was in his feelings. But I mean, some men can be territorial. I mean, I do get that. I mean, women can be as well. Mm-hmm. But if you're on a dating show, that's the purpose. And if you can't handle things like that, I feel like that shouldn't be something that you should engage in.
Yeah, I feel like keeping your options open You know, a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's super common nowadays. It's like you should be able to keep your options open. You know, that I feel like that's a form of open communication and being able to kind of, you know, be vulnerable in your feelings and saying, hey, you know, I'm keeping our relationship or how whatever you want to classify, I'm keeping things open with us because we are not committed. I feel like having that open conversation goes a long way. Now, the problem is, it's crazy because so many people are now backward nowadays because people will say, okay, I want someone to be vulnerable with me and I want you to be upfront and transparent. But when you're upfront and transparent,
Yeah, I was about to
they
say that.
don't hear anything that they want to hear. Either way it goes, they will still go to the left or they go to the right. Either way, it's no balance there because if you don't tell the person, then you're playing on their emotions. But when you do tell the person, you're still playing on their emotions. So it's like, really, do you have a safe space to say those things to a person? Because honestly, truth of the matter is, it can happen. You just got to have a level of maturity to be able to have that conversation because everybody is not going to accept that and be like, okay, you play with my emotions and you know, I'm just gonna let it go. Some woman and some man may accept it and say, you know what, I respect you coming to me. I appreciate you giving me my decision to choose how to handle the situation, not taking my decision from me. You know, so a lot of every is different. It's different on different avenues. So, you know, you just guys just got to take that into consideration when you out here dating and you know if they want to classify you as a player or however the case may be, you just got to understand, you know, you are entitled to those options.
But some people, like you said, but sometimes if you are being transparent and they say they do want that open type of communication in that moment, yeah, they may do want it, but once you give it to them, it's a different feeling because it kind of feels like a rejection, but it's not really. That's just like if you say, okay, well, I won't be bad if you go date somebody else. But if you see it in person, it's kind of like, dang, like your heart does, your heart does get crushed. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, I think people just say things like that in that moment. But let's switch it over a little bit.
But it,
I used to say this about Ashley all the time. Like, hey, like you could talk to people and you could be friends with people, like, and people automatically gravitate to you. Like, why is that? You know, is it really because you got that Rico Suave poppy type of like lingo, or you know, or is it just your personality? Like that's just people just genuinely connect with you. And then it
yeah,
kind of, yeah.
so to piggyback off of that, before I even answer that question, while we on that open options and things of that nature, the other thing that I said to you tonight was for anybody to kind of expect commitment after the first date, that is the most strangest thing that you can ever possibly have to do. Because a lot of times other people go out on dates, and that's what I'm saying. That guy, he went out on a date with her maybe like once or twice and automatically assumed, you know, he wanted to commit to her. And my thing is this, that type of toxic mindset, I wouldn't even want to like even be in a committed relationship with that person because you are already thinking like, oh, we're going to be married after the first date. Like, you don't know me. Don't get me wrong. I do believe in love at first sight. You know, I do believe in kind of things like that. But the way that we're in the living that we're in, I just wouldn't even feel comfortable even saying anything like that to somebody that I'm trying to pursue.
Which
Like, oh my God.
person are you referring to?
I'm talking about Tori. Tori is the guy that had the dress on the show in the Ready for Love. So if you guys go to it, the episode is called is episode season 5, episode 6. It just premiered on March 4th. So just look it up. I don't know the exact name of the episode, but this is the episode. You're going to see a guy named Tori. He has the dreads, and that was basically, you know, what he was saying, like commitment after they had those first dates with the young lady Sabrina. So just when you get a chance, definitely, you know, get a chance and check it out and tell me you guys your feedback and
Yeah,
stuff.
and speaking of that, the Sabrina girl is the same girl that she was on a date with someone else, and she told one of the guys that it was something that she said, and you said, "Oh my God!" Like she said something to him. She said, "Oh my God, I feel like you're in my life already." Something she said.
Yeah, that's what I'm referencing. Commitment.
Yeah, okay.
A first date, saying that I want to be in a relationship with you, saying I want to get married to, all those things. I think we should be in a relationship already. Like, I just don't take those lightly. I'm just like, I understand that a person may be ready to get in a relationship, but just because you're ready, don't project that energy on me as expecting me to be ready, because that's not the way the world works.
Well, I guess she felt like that because they had a lot of things in common. They both were
Yeah.
divorced.
I mean,
They
I
both
get
were
it.
single
You can,
parents.
but just because you have things in common doesn't mean that you are a perfect puzzle piece. And honestly, nobody's a perfect puzzle piece. If you ask me, I mean, there's going to be some puzzle pieces that is not going to fit, and some that's just, they damage. It's just, that's what it is.
And Tori was the guy with the dreads. He was also giving player vibes because he went on a date with one young lady, and the lady asked him some very vital questions like, what are your intentions? What do you want out of life? Like, what are you looking for? Because, I want to get married. I want to have kids. And the whole time he just wanted to take shots with her and take them back and just kiss on her and all these other things instead of like answering the question. And then he just said, I really wasn't getting those vibes from her. I just felt like she was just like a friend that, I could kick it with, not somebody that I could build with. But I feel like if that was the case, I feel like you shouldn't have been kissing on her or nothing like that, because that was definitely a player move.
Yeah. I mean, but well, again, we can't say that it's a dating show. So everything is up in the air. It's a dating show. That's the point where they come up there. You see who you connect with and things of that nature. Like, I mean, that's it. And this crazy part is it's kind of it's a Russian roulette, because you really don't even know who you could be liking that person and thinking y'all connected, y'all kiss or whatever. And it was just at one time the other person may not think the same thing. So now your feelings is involved. Now you're hurt because someone else.
But she didn't though.
So it's like, what do you do? That's why I said it's a Russian roulette. So it's a show. That's what's expected to happen. I don't say anything is wrong with those type of shows, but I mean, sometimes
I got Flavor Flav all over again.
If they do find love, they do find love. But I don't know. I mean, my thing is this. I can tell you guys every time. I mean, if you only want to date one person at a time, so be it. That is totally fine. But remember, if you're dating exclusively, you have no choice but to date just one person. But if you're just dating, like, okay, I'm dating this person, do it. All those options is fine. Nothing makes you a bad person. If you don't want commitment, that's allowed too. Just make sure you clearly, effectively communicate your position in that person's life. You know what I mean? To get that other person, like I said, a choice as to whether, it's a relationship, if that relationship style that you're looking for is going to work. But, but to piggyback off of Diamond, she's right. For understanding me and certain people that I've come to encounter with in my life, I used to always have it where it's like, okay, a person either draws to me, they like me in a certain different manner. I'm like cool with them, thinking like we're on a cool type of friendship type of situation. But in theory, they're like, no, I really like you. And I don't know. I used to always ask myself, like, why is it that? Now, granted, in the past, I probably would have told somebody what they wanted to hear just to talk to them or whatever the case may be. But as I got older, I just really started to be my genuine self and just really give my type of energy that I have and just communicate with people. And it's just, I feel like because I put that energy out, that people attract to that a lot more. I don't really have a reason to why, okay, people, all right, well, after you put the energy out, a person likes you more. Yeah, because guess what? A person may be in a relationship with somebody that ain't treating them the way I'm treating them, and I'm just a friend. Or it can be several different things. Like, that's something that they really ideal want. So now they're like, oh my gosh, Ashley, you're single, or however the case may be. And I want to be able to, be in a relationship, which it could be several factors in that situation. So I don't know, but I do know it has caused a lot of times chaos in relationships that I have been in, because, they're like, no, like, you're in a relationship, but I'm going to try to step those boundaries because I want what I want. And it's bad. And it's like, you got to ask yourself, like, do you really supposed to water yourself down when it comes to situations like that? Are you really watering yourself down? You shouldn't have to water yourself down, but it's sad that a lot of people mindset is not like yours anymore. That they're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna let it go. People would genuinely want what they want, and they would do their damnness to make sure that they get what they want. If it means taking the other person out of the picture, so
Mm-hmm.
many different things a person will do, especially if they want something, and that's just a
Yep.
delusional person. So you gotta make sure that you basically, you know what I mean? Like just really be careful. I'm not telling you to change who you are. If you have that spunk, that personality, and you just a person that everybody vibe to, they fall into, then yeah, keep being yourself, but just to be careful about how you're doing it because people use that against you.
So if how do you handle situations when people do say, that they do like you and things like that? Do you end the friendship or communication, or do you give them the option to, you know, do you give them the option to check themselves before, you communicate with them?
I
Or
put
how do you
everybody
handle
in
it?
that place. I put everybody in that place because ultimately, I guess for me, little comments, little flirts and things like that, it really doesn't bother me, but it may bother your partner. So certain things, you got to do nip in the bud, like, no, you shouldn't say those things, or no, that's not right. Certain things like that, you just want to make sure that you don't do those things. You know what I mean? Like, especially if it's making your partner feel the type of way. Now, again, like I said, you cannot control still if how that person does things. Now, what you can control is if they are disrespecting your relationship, then absolutely you can be on some type of situation where you're just like, listen, well, I've told you that I'm in a relationship. So at this point, you got to decide how you want to decipher with this person. Are you going to cut them off, or are you going to keep on moving forward with this person? You got to decide what's best for you and your relationship. So, it's two parts to it because, like I said, it always takes two to tango. So, if
Mhm.
your partner is entertaining that behavior, then guess what? That person is not crazy. And they probably will get crazy if your person is entertaining that behavior. So, guess what? They have a reason to, because now you play that person's emotions. But if you're not that type of person, you nip that stuff in the bud, then they don't have a fight against you. All they can do is say, hey, you know what? Ashley did tell me what it was. Diamond did tell me what it was. So I got to respect that. That's it.
Yeah, you're right. But some people don't like no.
Say it again.
I said that's true, but some people don't like rejection.
Yeah. I mean, rejection means redirection to me, baby. So you tell me no new opportunity, next opportunity, on to the next. That's it. Keep your head up and move on to the next. Everybody's going to get rejected one day. Everybody's going to get told no. What are you going to do? Pout about it? Ponder on it? No, you can't ponder. Life too short. Move on to the next opportunity. It's a lot of great fishes in the sea, but you gotta kind of decipher what's in the sea, because this sea is not the same sea. These people, they will put on a facade for the first 6 months. And then after they put their facade on for the first 6 months, it's like it's a whole different person. So you gotta be careful.
So what would you do if to somebody tried to pull their player card on you?
Yeah, it wouldn't work
Use their
because
player card on you.
it definitely it definitely wouldn't work because I am a type of person that used to do those things. So it wouldn't work.
So you can spot them a mile away.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, I can.
Some people are too smooth though.
I mean, some people are, but luckily God has blessed me with the mind to discern certain people and things of certain situations. So I understand, I do. I do. Yeah, I definitely understand. So that's my biggest thing about that.
So would you ever set up like a blind date or a dating show?
I would, because it would be funny to me, interesting to me, because people are so people are so different, you know. So I definitely would. I definitely would.
I think that would be interesting to set up like a
A
blind.
speed. Have you ever? Speaking of that, have you ever went speed dating or on a blind date?
No, because I don't like people.
That's not nice. That's not nice. So you don't like
I don't.
people?
I don't
Well,
like. It's not that I don't.
you gonna stay single forever. You don't like to talk to people. How you expect?
It's not that I don't like people. It's just
I
that
mean, you just said that.
I don't have time for the shenanigans.
You said what? You don't have time for the shenanigans. Hmm. I don't think people can hear you. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I said I'm just not interested in playing games, and the generation that we are in now, people are not, I don't even know what word to use. People are not who they say they are. People are always looking for something out of a person.
Everybody is on a me, my, I type of streak. And the more we keep going every single day, it's about a me, my. You know, it's bigger stuff than life that's going on. Just look at everything that's going on around us. So it's like, if you selfish and you want to just be about yourself, then I know that you don't care about what's going on around us, because it's not just about you. It's not.
Well, I'm not selfish at all.
Yeah,
I'm definitely not
I'm
selfish.
not selfish, but I do use discernment with people. Like if you are a type of way, pick up on that, and I'm like, okay, you got to be placed in a different angle in my life. And maybe you even ain't in my life, you just be placed in a different department that I don't want to deal with. You know, you sometimes people be like, oh, why you don't cut people off? Sometimes you play a certain role in my life. If I know that you're a cheater, I mean, if I know you're a liar, I know that I can't trust you to do anything. So you can't do anything that's pertaining to for me that I'm gonna believe you. Say if you a cheater, stealer, I know that I can utilize you, but you just can't do a lot for me because you a thief. I wouldn't give you $500, expect you to go take it to the bank and not miss $20. I just can't do it. You may have other positions that you can play, but no, no, can't do it.
That's interesting.
What?
What you said? What you just stated?
Yeah.
So would you ever try the speed thing, the
Speed
reality
dating,
TV
blind
show
date.
or blind date?
I would do it just to see exactly. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I would just see it to see, you know, you meet different people. I feel like for the speed date, I feel like it's more so of a networking thing. You getting to know people, even if we don't hit it off, we may connect on a different level. Everybody feel like you got to mentally connect with everybody on a relationship level. You do not have to mentally connect with people on a mentally level to be, you know, I mean, if you connect with them in a certain different way, it could be the creativity side. That's great. It doesn't always have to be the physical where you connected with them on a sexual level, you know, on a mental level where you're just like, oh, I want to be in a relationship with you. You don't always have to connect that way. There's several other connections that can be formed.
That's true.
So I don't, you know, I don't get it. That's why I say I would go up there just for the networking aspect, and I would tell them, they're like, well, why did you come here? Are you looking for love? No, you never look for love. Love will always find you. I'm not looking for anything. I'm just going with the flow of how things are. But remember, I'm going with the flow, but I'm control flowing my life. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I like that. I'm control. How did you say it?
I said that I'm going with the flow, but I'm controlling my flow. I'm still going with the flow, but I'm just controlling my flow. I'm not letting it get too far upstream.
If you don't want it to get there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
Exactly. So, man, like I said, a lot of people will say, yeah, I don't know. It's people just so different. People just so different. Everybody has their reasons. Maybe some people may mention like, oh well, why would you go on a dating show when people really out here, looking for actual love and stuff? Okay, but like I said, everybody has their reasons on why they would do the things. That was my reason, you know. That was my reasoning. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally understand. If since you put it that way, I mean, I would go in there for the networking as
Yeah,
well,
because
but
you don't have to.
definitely not the dating type of
Yeah.
scenery. No, I just feel like people that let me not say that because I don't want nobody to be like, oh, Diamond said that. I just feel like when people do it, I feel like people just haven't found the right person or they're just in desperate needs. But I can't say that because that could just be people stepping out their box
I
or
mean,
they're
some
just like
people
or
just,
just want to be on
yeah,
just
they're alone.
have
They're lonely. They're alone, and it's okay. Like I said, that's more so. Like I said, that's networking. It may give them something to do, and then their hobby or something that they wanted to do may turn into a real love connection. You know, you
that's
just
the same like when people get on these dating sites or something, or just make it on there just for communication or things like that, or just
they don't be
platonic
up there
friendships.
looking for love. They just go up there because they may be lonely, want somebody to talk to.
Yeah, you're
Seems
right.
a little tired tonight. Had a long night tonight.
Yeah, I really had a, a pretty
Productive day.
productive day.
Respect. Respect.
Yeah,
Always get to the grind.
absolutely.
Mhm.
That serial entrepreneur lifestyle.
Is definitely will have you tired, exhausted, lethargic, like everything. But the beauty of it is being able to do what you want to do when you want to, not having to go ahead and clock in, doing those things. Even you got to clock in. Being able to do what you want to do when you want to. Know your worth on these jobs. Got to know your worth.
Exactly.
And that's another thing is like a lot of people times a lot of people get on those shows, they be like, oh, I am looking for love. So you can't hear, how are you going somewhere just to look for love on a show?
Mm-hmm.
How are you just going to go on the show to look for love? Do you do why do we look for love?
Because, like you said, some people may just be lonely. Maybe they just haven't found that person, or maybe they just want to try something new to see what may be out there that they haven't experienced. Maybe getting on a dating show may be something different, or maybe being. I mean, I don't know. It could be different
I mean,
things.
but when you go, we always know when you go looking for stuff, it's never the way you find it. But when you let it come genuinely, it can come in a good form. And either way, honestly, and I'm gonna say this, either way can go. You can go and find love and find exactly what you're looking for and get exactly what you have desired and manifest and ask of. And the same way, vice versa. If you're not looking for it and it comes in, it could be something completely different. And they could go the opposite way. You could be in a bad situation and it's not exactly what you want for. So honestly, it can go either way. Nobody is safe in this love game. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. People nowadays don't know. People nowadays,
Does love even really exist anymore?
right? That's what I would say. People don't even know what People honestly don't even know what unconditional love is, because once someone kind of stops stimulating them, they no longer interested. I feel like you should still, if a person, they don't stimulate you anymore, you still had a good time. You still got to be there. People want to feel, I mean, for me,
people don't agree with that.
I mean, for me, I want the love that's felt even when it's difficult. I don't want you to just be, once, we stop loving each other, or whatever the case may be, you ain't fighting for it no more. We both ain't fighting for it. No. I want that love that's felt when it's difficult.
Well, that's the type of love I give out.
Yeah, so like I said, a lot of people, they don't know what unconditional love is, because once they're not stimulated anymore, they walk away. And that's not cool. They no longer in love because they're not stimulated by that person, or however the case may be. But if you unconditionally love somebody, that means you don't have any conditions. If they break if their legs got to get amputated, Lord forbid, you say unconditional. That means unconditional, right?
Yeah, that's that old school, archaic type of love, and that's what I was grew up on. Even when a person still do you wrong, you still right there waiting hand and foot. So that's what it is. Well, y'all, it's midnight, and we definitely have gave you guys almost, what has it been, almost 40 minutes?
Counting the time. We ain't counting the time no more. We just gave y'all a fire ass episode. Give you something to talk about and give you something to go and watch. We gave you guys a fire ass episode. We ain't counting numbers no more. Only when it comes to our pockets. We ain't counting numbers on this podcast though.
Oh, well, she said it best.
Yeah,
so let me give y'all the time it comes on. The show comes back on. Yeah, I think it comes back on the 19th.
It comes on the 18th, and it airs at 9:00. You can watch it on OWN.
Yeah,
or you got Amazon, where you can watch it on the Discovery Channel. I mean, it's a little bit of change. It's $4.99. I mean, we spent $4.99 on the 4 for 4 at Wendy's, so you can get that. If you want to watch the show, $4.99. $4.99.
At this point, people need to be saving $4.99 for these gas prices, because
I mean, that is true. These gas prices is super exorbitant. Like, they are ridiculous. Like, I mean, seriously, you can't even look. If you want me to move my car and the type of vehicle I got to have at least $35 to move my car.
That's not even a full tank. That's not even.
That ain't even a full tank. That's a quarter. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, I move for $35. But now is the time to really be seeing who, this is the real. I'm not saying we're in a recession, but I mean, gas, that's high. That's going up. Grocery stores up. You knew we started going a daggone slope when Dollar Tree said $1.25. I've been going to Dollar Tree for $1. When that thing said $1.25, and that added up, I got like 10 items, and that thing said $11, $12. I'm like, well, dang, what happened to $10.50? Those 25 cents add up, which comes to
exactly. Netflix is now $20 when it used to be $5.99.
Listen, y'all about to start.
And they say, "Oh, you can come back for $7.99." You ain't finna think you about to hit me with those charges for a month and then be charging me $20. I think not.
If you know, like I know, yeah, I'm sure other ethnicity does it. You better get somebody log in and y'all all share with that one plan. So if everything say $20, $25 up to 8 streams, y'all all about to divide that in half and pay your part, and y'all all can stream all at once. Different households. So seriously, you got to come together. Like, those prices be getting really ridiculous. And like, I mean, I don't even watch enough TV to even have Netflix. To be honest, I don't even watch enough TV. I don't watch enough TV. I really be busy engulfed into my businesses and getting me together. I really don't even watch the TV. I mean, I will say I do watch Power on Sunday. Power Force, Power. I love Power. I feel like that's the most epic show out right now. But like I said, I don't really watch television. And who?
church if
Oh
you're
yeah,
not
I
going
definitely
inside the
see.
building.
Yeah. Please God forgive me. I do watch church. Gotta give my honors, utmost respect to the man above for everything that he's been able to do. So definitely do that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Diamond got us with announcement. She bringing us out, but I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight for another episode. And we definitely going to see you guys on Wednesday. Diamond announcements.
Yes. So for everybody that's new or that has been with us, I said Diamond. See, as actually stated earlier in the week, we did update our schedule just for due to us being very productive and taking on new projects. So our new schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we're off Saturday and Sunday. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
we came to you guys tonight on Tuesday because we could not get to you on yesterday because we were so productive in another project. So we apologize if it does come off like where the schedule is inconsistent. Just bear with us. We get into that
We're
regimen
never gonna take more than a day off. Will
Wednesday,
be the next day. Yeah.
right?
So
So it's not gonna be if we don't get as Tuesday when it's trust me, it's gonna be within that day. It's gonna be within
yeah,
that.
so that's the new schedule. Um, you guys already know where to follow us at. You can at Instagram empowerment_reckless podcast, our website at empowermentrecklesspodcast.com. And for all questions, concerns, want to be a guest on the show, you can hit us up on our email at info@empowermentrecklesspodcast.com. And even if you just want to show some love or send DMs on Instagram as well, go ahead. We're all for it. You guys can also check out our TikTok at empowerment_reckless podcast as well. And I think that's pretty much it. It has been an amazing night. We always enjoy you guys. We thank y'all for coming on here and tuning in with us tonight. As always, it's been real. We love you guys. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, please go make sure you check out all the other episodes and YouTube videos.
Yeah,
Make sure
go
you
get
like.
caught up over the week. Go get caught up because when we gonna be screaming tomorrow for you guys. We're gonna be screaming live from Miami. We're going to Miami, so we're gonna be in Miami for about weekends of change. They're gonna be in Miami.
Yeah, maybe y'all will get a
Or
taste of what we do on an everyday basis.
for business. So we definitely gonna be in there.
Yeah, so I said check us out on TikTok. It's been real. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you go like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Tag a friend, share a friend. And we will catch you guys on tomorrow. And we will have another great topic for you all. So we're out of here. Have a good night. Peace. And we love you guys. See y'all tomorrow.